there's a part of your work that speaks to how we don't actually know what's good for us, right? And a lot of research has shown us that humans are terrible predictors of the future. We generally are. But in some of your work, when you looked at some of the data, there's a part of the book that I remember that I really, really loved. And it said, you found in the data, it was less important whether or not a Republican was dating a Republican or a Democrat was dating a Democrat. What was more important was whether or not both people agreed on whether or not they should be engaged in politics.
Right.
And that became a greater determining factor for whether or not those people would actually get along. Because it seems like from the work you were doing, the data showed that that wasn't true.
Right.
Republicans and Democrats actually could make a really good couple, but it was the fact that they thought that they couldn't that made them not be able to.
But I guess that's where computers can kind of do a lot of work that a normal human being couldn't do, where it's like you can gather all this information, your political affiliation, you can also gather how much that matters to you, how engaged you are politically. And then behind the scenes, the server or the algorithm can learn what actually makes a difference.
Yeah.
And then act on that. But unless you have that information, even in the kind of like primitive days of 2014 or whatever, we did tons of experiments and tests and we're always sort of honing our match algorithm until we decided we had it to where the best that we could get it. But you have to take in that information to make that even possible. And like you might end up with unexpected sort of predictors of relationship success, or at least conversational success, which is all these apps can really manage or measure. But there are predictors, like you just said, like how strongly you feel about politics turns out matter. But if the app doesn't know that question, then it can't use it.